Hello and welcome to the third episode of the Rome Remastered Historical Battle Walkthrough. In today's episode, we are playing the third historical battle, the Battle of Telamon. We are playing as the Gauls. We will be facing off against the House of Julii, which is representing the Roman forces. They will have two armies, one facing us from the front, the other from behind. We will have to quickly take out the first army, then turn around with our remaining soldiers to counter the second. May the best general win.
(225 BC), and the bloody First Punic War is at an end. Rome now expects little resistance as she uses her might and influence.
Units, move out!
The mere sight of her armies quashes any signs of opposition. Peace, however, never seems to last. Gallic tribes and mercenaries have marched from Transalpine Gaul into Etruria through an unguarded pass in the Apennines. To meet this invasion, the Romans have called on resources and manpower from across central and southern Italy. A powerful defensive force has been rapidly mobilized. They have outmaneuvered the Gauls, forcing these barbarians towards the Tuscan coast. Meanwhile, a second Roman army has landed at Pisae. The Gauls now have no line of retreat. They are surrounded, trapped. Assailed from both sides, the Gauls must fight for their very existence as a free people. Their only hope for survival is to quickly defeat the Roman forces in front of them, and then turn to deal with the Romans approaching from the rear. Or their defeat is certain.
Alright, let's show these Romans how well we barbarians fight when our freedom is on the line. The first thing I'm going to do, as in any battle, I like to reorganize my troops on the unit bar. This is just so in the middle of a battle it's easier for me to find them. Now, the warband unit here, that is all the way in the back, I'm going to have it over here on this path, right next to this big hill. The purpose of this is to counter any enemy cavalry or infantry that try to go this way. This is also just to buy some extra time just in case we don't finish off the first army before the second one arrives. Now, what I'm going to be doing with the main force is, well, I'm going to advance my infantry and skirmishers up to engage the enemy forces. In the meantime, my warhounds will be right behind our infantry to assist fighting the enemy infantry. Our cavalry will be fighting on the left and right flank to take out the enemy cavalry, then chase down the enemy, and pick off any skirmishers that still remain. The first thing I'm going to do is just move up my main force, and then have the warhounds move behind them. Now I could advance them straight forward, but I'm putting them behind my main force so that the enemy cavalry has to get through my heavy infantry before they can touch my delicate and precious hounds. Now they may seem delicate to cavalry, but against these infantry, they will easily massacre them.
Chieftain,
I'm also going to send my general to the left flank. The purpose of this is so our cavalry breaks through their cavalry faster, so we can quickly flank the enemy infantry and take down any skirmishers who are daring to fight us. Now, I'm also going to make them run because time is of the essence. We have a second army waiting for us, and we have no time to waste. Now that the enemy cavalry has been engaged, we are going to send in our warhounds to attack the enemy infantry. Now I do want to be careful because this cavalry is very important later on in the battle. They will be very useful to flanking the enemy and chasing them down, and taking out the enemy general, so that we don't have to worry about him boosting the enemy's morale. And as you see, the dogs are very quickly tearing through the enemy lines. Now I'm going to continue some pursuit so that the enemy doesn't return to the battle, so they're too scared for their lives to dare come back. But I want to continue pushing forth to try and take down the enemy general without losing too many of my men at this time. Seeing as the second army is getting closer and closer, I can start repositioning my forces. The heavy infantry will just be in a straight line, and the skirmishers will be right behind them. The cavalry is going to continue pursuing the enemy forces for now. And there we go, the enemy general has fallen. This means the morale will be much weaker, and it'll be easier to make them rally. And they won't be as likely to return. But I do want to hurry sending my main forces back because I don't want to spend too long just chasing down these running soldiers.
Hunt them down and slay them all.
Now the soldiers that were with the warhounds, you might think they'll be useless at this point. The warhounds are busy chasing down the enemy. There's nothing we can do about that. But you might be a bit wrong, because they're actually still quite useful. I found that in this battle, even though they've already used up their warhound, they've sent them loose, they're actually quite good in combat and surrounding the enemy. Well, they can't really kill well, but they can hold their ground for some time, especially with assistance from this heavy infantry. I don't think that first army's coming back, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But I want to get my cavalry back in position here as soon as possible. This is so we can respond to any enemy threats as soon as they arise. I'm going to take down this cavalry with all of my own cavalry to make sure that we don't have to worry about them later. As you can see on my right flank, I'm moving my warband to counter the enemy cavalry which is moving up this hill, trying to find a weak point in my position. As you see, the enemy cavalry unit has been wiped out and we can get ready for the next assault wave. Well, it's not really a wave there. They just sent their cavalry ahead of their main force. And seeing as the first army has gone so far, I don't think they'll be coming back, so I'm not going to be paying any attention to that area. Just to the front line here. Now what I'd like to do is to continue moving my cavalry up the left flank, so we can slowly continue surrounding the enemy forces. But I'm also going to move my heavy infantry here to better position towards the enemy forces. I would likely charge my cavalry and take down these archers before they do too much damage, but seeing how close the enemy infantry actually is, it's a bit too risky at this point. And the battle has started once more. So far, everyone is holding their own. But I do have to be careful so my own general doesn't actually die. We are quite busy taking out the enemy general, but We want to keep our own general alive too.
Enemy warlord shows
Now I want
his
to chase
worth.
down. Oh, there we go.
Nothing.
I wanted
Any
to
of
say that I
our
want to
warriors
chase
would
down the
die
enemy
rather than
general,
run.
so
You
that
have killed
their
the
morale
enemy
is much
general.
weaker and they're
Now his
easier to
men
rout
show
overall.
fear. Now they may turn and run.
As you can
Attack!
see, the enemy has mostly fallen at this point. They still have a few soldiers alive. Most of them are routing, but those that are routing, they're not really a concern to me because they will very likely come back, so I'm going to continue pursuing them, but for them to rout, they really have to be in small numbers, and at that point, I don't think they can really do anything to hurt. And I want to be careful how I use my general, because even though we will be hitting the enemy in the back, we do not want to risk his life, unless it is truly necessary. And as you see, at this point, we are just chasing down the enemy force. We have lost a few men, but compared to how many the enemy has brought to the field and how many they've lost in total, this is nothing. If this was on the campaign map, and an actual campaign and not just one battle that after it we don't really care about how many soldiers survived, then we still have quite a few heavy infantry alive and most of our forces pretty good to continue fighting. We just lost a few of our cavalrymen, which it could have been probably a bit more avoided. Casualties are certain, especially when we're outnumbered and it's a pretty even fight. But we have to remember that casualties will occur. And there we go, that is victory.
Runs. Now hunt them down.
I'm going to end the battle because there is no real point in continuing to chase them down because, like I said, this isn't on the campaign map, and even if some of their soldiers survive, it doesn't really make a difference to us.
The enemy have been utterly broken. This is a most
So,
worthy
yeah, we
victory.
lost about 159 soldiers, but that's really good. They took at least 1,088 casualties. Now, that's assuming they didn't have any friendly fire. So I think we did pretty good. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you watching the next video. I hope this one was helpful in beating this historical battle yourselves. Thank you.